The Unshackled Waves, episode 239.
Broadcasting from Melbourne, Australia, this is The Unshackled Waves with Tim Wills, brought to you by theunshackled.net.
Hello everyone, welcome to a special live episode of The Unshackled Waves. It's a Friday night and I'm having a casual chat tonight with an old friend of The Unshackled, Ben Shand, known as the Dusty Bogan, based in Brisbane. How are you?
Good, mate. How you doing?
Yeah,
Friday
I'm good.
night on The Unshackled.
Yeah, it's been another full-on week here, so I'm pretty knackered. But as they say, the show must go on. The people, we've got to keep pumping it out.
Yeah, mate. Damn, you must be busy.
Yeah, well, there's a lot going on with the election. It's an election unlike any other. I've been around to witness quite a few during my lifetime, but yeah, this is definitely the most insane.
I seen a video. Did you see the video on getting around? I think it was on Instagram, and it was like Bill Shorten went to go shake some bloody high-vis workers' hands, and they just shunned him.
Yeah, I saw
I thought that was
That
brilliant.
Yeah, that was that was sort of like Bill Shorten wasn't expecting that. He should have gone. He should have done that. Put the hand out and was like, "Woo!" You know when you play that trick on somebody.
Yeah. The workers are turning on old Billy Boy, eh?
Well, he was head of the Australian Workers Union, but as we know, he didn't really look after the workers much. There was that famous clean event enterprise bargaining agreement that he did where he really dudded the workers on weekend rates. So
True that. He was the dude in the mine down in Tasmania, right?
yeah, that's how everyone
With the
first
big
came
gun.
to know him.
And now the workers have turned on him.
Yeah.
I bet you he went straight for like, he must have been with the office workers, and then he's like, oh, finally, some high vis bloody, tradies or factory workers, and then gone to go, bet you just to show that he's a bloody man of the fucking workers, and then they've just publicly bloody, nah, sorry, Bill.
Now, you celebrated a milestone getting 1,000 YouTube subscribers. Now, that's always a good milestone to get because it means that you can get your custom channel URL and you can also get super chats.
Yeah, man, I'm laughing. Took a while. They booted me off Facebook, and then it's like, I kind of had to focus on my YouTube channel. So it's been, I don't know, how long's it been since that first Proud Boys purge? Probably maybe 7 months ago now.
Yeah, it was back in November, I recall.
Yeah.
So you were completely banned from Facebook. You tried to create a new account because all the Australian Proud Boys who are admins and that got purged. But you tried to create a new one and that got zucked as well.
Yeah, they got rid of me. I tried with different emails. I tried with people's different like mates' phone numbers and all this, and it got taken down straight away. I've finally set up another fake account so you can actually find the Dusty Bogan on Facebook again.
Yeah, I noticed that there was a page there. Have you been able to set up a new account?
Yeah, I set up an account and but I got post blocked straight away. My first video got something like 3,500 views, and then ever since then I'm getting fucking nothing. So I don't know what they've done to that. They obviously know who I am.
Yeah,
they remember.
Yeah, Facebook has they're able to track your IP because this is what they did to Blair Cottrell and Neil Erickson. They knew their IP, and so whenever they try to create a new account, they try on various different internet connections, but Facebook would always figure it out.
I'm too lazy to get a I'm too lazy to get a VPN.
Yeah,
Like,
but
stuff it. Too much work.
yeah, but Facebook thinks you're dangerous enough.
I know, how stupid. I figured it was just because I was a part of the Proud Boys, but I mean, who knows? I thought I was pretty fair and balanced.
No, you're one of those dangerous people that ScoMo wants Facebook to crack down on.
I'm a bloody radical mess, mate. Have a look at me. You can't have a dude running around with a fucking mullet hat on, causing trouble.
No, no. So you went over to MeWe, which is a Facebook alternative, which it allows free speech for now. I noticed that a lot of conservatives have migrated over there, mainly the sort of socially conservative crowd. Because if you didn't if you misgendered somebody, then you're banned from Facebook. And so I've noticed people like Kirley Smith and Bill Muhlenberg going over to MeWe there.
Yeah, it's like a good little thing happening over on MeWe. And then now we've seen Telegram, like Telegram, the Proud Boys have we've jumped over to Telegram, so you can look up Proud Boys Australia vetting page if you're looking to become a Proud Boy anyway, and that's kind of where we went to MeWe. Dusty Bogan was on there and Proud Boys, and now we've migrated over to Telegram. I guess when Tommy Robinson did the jump over, you know.
Yeah, Telegram. I've been in love with the app since before it was cool because it's much better than Facebook Messenger because it's Zuck proof because it's connected to your phone number, and so you can just instantly message people. And then I found out it had this really cool feature, broadcast channels. So I started an Unshackled Telegram channel just because it was another outlet that we could be on. We didn't get too many subscribers in the beginning, but yeah, when Tommy moved over there, and then of course Britain First, RV Yemeni's got a channel there now. Now Milo's there, and also one of our UK similar site to ours, Political Light, they got kicked off Facebook, so they're also on Telegram. It was created by a pair of Russian dissident brothers, so I don't think they're going to be kowtowing too much to governments.
Yeah, Telegram's awesome. I'm really loving it. I guess it's like MeWe's like your Facebook and Telegram's like your Messenger. So we've now, it took a while, but now we've got like a decent alternative to Facebook,
Yeah, there's also Gab and Minds. The Unshackled, we have quite a large following on Gab, but Gab is very that sort of alt-right, white nationalist. That's sort of the type of demographic that are there. So you're a civic nationalist, so it's sort of probably not sort of the best outlet for you.
Yeah, I tried Gab and Minds, and I was just like, maybe I'm fucking useless at all this stuff, It just wasn't just so simple to work out. I found MeWe and Telegram. I was just like, bang, fuck, that's where I'm doing my business. You know what I mean? Just because of how simple it was to work out.
Yeah. Gab's taken off. Again, we set up a Gab account, or it would have been way back mid 2018, but it's grown in popularity since Blair got banned from Twitter and he's migrated over to Gab. Neil Erickson was on there for a while, but he deleted it because I'm not sure if you've been following him, but he's been making a lot of allegations against the Liberal Party, which has sort of unleashed a hornet's nest.
True. Yeah, I was wondering where the hell them guys were. Like, I see True Blue Crews on MeWe and Telegram, but I guess it would be good to see Blair on there. I mean, I got an interview with him at what was it, Liberty Fest? That was probably the last time we caught up.
Yeah, that was an interesting interview to watch because Blair always likes to be very serious and you're a very casual, laid-back person. So it was it was a very contrasting dynamic.
Yeah, I think we just got back from the pub too, so I had my fill, you know what I mean?
That's when you had been to that neo-Nazi rally, as the Australian called it, the
Oh
anti-safe
yeah,
schools rally.
jeez, mate, I couldn't believe the write up on that.
Yeah,
That was the hit piece. That was a massive hit piece. If you ever seen, it's only when you're there, you're at a rally, and there's just normal fucking people, multi-ethnic, whatever families. You're standing there against safe schools. You're thinking it's full normal, and then fuck, what a week later you're reading an article, and apparently it was like fucking racist Nazis, homophobic, transphobic, all the shit, all the every kind of fucking word they could invent, they could throw mud at you.
yeah. It was completely ridiculous. The reporter will name and shame him, Rick Morton, and he seemed to have a bit of a thing for the Proud Boys because he did all of the fake news about Gavin in the coming months. Like he put the photo on his story where Gavin pulled out the plastic sword and like trying to imply that it was a real sword that Gavin was just threatening people on the street with swords.
It was supposed to be a joke. Oh, bro, I got to show you this. Give me 1 second. I'll get this newspaper, right? I'll tell you. I'll tell you anyway. I was at the Labor Day rally last
Yeah, I saw
Monday,
that.
and like fuck, I couldn't believe it. We watched all the unions come past, and like I had a chat to a few of the guys, and look, I'm not a great fan of the unions, but the guys there, they were all good, And then lucky last, you have the Labor Party coming through, followed by the Greens, followed by the Australian Communist Party. Hammer and sickle, big fucking red flag. You couldn't believe it. And these guys were handing out newspapers. They were like, "Do you want some Marxist literature, mate?" And I
Yeah.
fucking couldn't believe it. I was like, "Oh, do you want to do an interview?" So we didn't notice these guys were walking the whole, like there's thousands and thousands of fucking people, probably 20 different unions, and the whole time people were walking past us handing out these newspapers, you know what I mean? And it was just before Labor came that I was like, "Yeah, mate, I'll get one off you." Gave them $1. And it's so bullshit. They actually had an article on there about the Proud Boys. I was like, "Oh, check it out." And it was about the bloody the fight in New York and Gavin McInnes with his plastic sword and all this shit.
Yeah.
Insane.
Well, like the fact that these leftists are proudly displaying the hammer and sickle, that should be as an offensive symbol as the swastika. I mean, under the hammer and sickle, 100 million people died. It's one of the most bloody ideologies that has ever existed. I mean, it should make everyone feel ill.
Oh, I was shocked. I'm like, so I like any fucking. I thought Labor Day, whatever, would give these people a go. I'm sure they've done some good in the history of our nation. But fuck, man, just to see that communist flag marching down the streets of Brisbane was like, I was fucking shocked. I was taken away.
How did you go trying to approach these May Day marches for interviews? Because they don't like being challenged. They had the Marxism conference in Melbourne, and a Melbourne comedian that there, I forget his name, tried to like ask them questions. He got booted out. They don't like getting difficult questions. They only like answering questions in their safe space.
Yeah, I guess I'm lucky because not many people would know me yet. You know what I mean? And
Mm.
I always say, just say g'day, be polite, and start off easy going. Because fuck, man, I guess I was talking to one union dude. He was a butcher. He was in the butchers union. You might have seen the video, and I just kind of eased into it, tried to put up the heat, but fuck, I kind of thought myself, it's not a good place to let the hard questions rip. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, they get triggered easily. Well, uh, the Unshackled Melbourne team, we're on the local Melbourne Antifa website. If you ever see any of these people like filming on the street, do not talk to them. They are part of a fascist news website.
Oh, mate, Tim, no good. The Antifa hate you, buddy.
Yeah, they're the local ones here. Yeah, they're especially triggered by us. There's one in particular, Slack Bastard, who he didn't like my Proud Boys Pinochet shirt. He keeps bringing that up.
Jeez. How do you remember that safe school rally? And they were the Antifa were there, and they had a little sign, and it said like "Proud Boys are gay," and they were screaming at me. They're saying like, "Go back to New Zealand, Ben," and all this shit. I'm thinking like, hang on, you're kind of being racist there, telling me to go back to New Zealand, and then you're saying Proud Boys are gay, and like you're using, saying gay in a derogatory
Yeah,
term. I'm just like,
exactly.
what the fuck is going on here, you idiots?
Yeah, it's funny that they might have got into trouble afterwards. There might have been this whole shit fight on one of their secret groups. It was like, you shouldn't have had that sign. It makes us look like homophobes because like the left, they attack us united, but other times they eat their own, that's always funny.
Yeah, it was hilarious. That day I think we parked our car right, and I was like, "Oh, check it, man. There's all the Antifa protests. So there's probably like 25 of them." It's like we should just go up and have a chat. But then we were late and we fucking ran off. And at the end of the rally, it was like the same kind of thing. They were all walking down to their cars, and we were just on the other side of the road, like, "Hey, he's going." Like, they're not. I don't think they're that tough, eh?
Mm. Well, Melbourne one is pretty bad here. They rule the whole inner Melbourne, the Antifa. Now, what is Brisbane Antifa like? Well, I know that they exist because they assaulted one of our reporters up there, Martin Hartwig, and the Brisbane Antifa page, the woman who runs that, Kathleen, she's quite unhinged with some of the things she posts. But I know that sort of West End is sort of the Antifa area of Brisbane. Like, what's their sort of presence influence there?
I mean, I've only run into these guys at rallies, but like funny enough, one time there was a refugees are welcome barbecue held in West End, so it's
Mm.
kind of like a bit of a hippie, got a bit of a hippie vibe going down there. It's actually not too bad, right? Like there's some good bars down there. So the boys, all the Proud Boys were like, right, we should go this refugees welcome barbecue. And I'd say this is like lefty territory big time. I think it's like a Greens senator or something. That's like, the Greens buddy would throw on this
Larissa
barbecue.
Waters.
Oh, I think it was a dude. I can't remember
There's
who it
Jonathan
was.
Suri. He's the local councillor, Greens councillor for City of Brisbane, and their senator for a while when Larissa got knocked out because she was Canadian. There was Andrew Bartlett.
Oh, yeah. Well, this barbecue was like joint run by some fucking Greens dude. So we all rocked up. We were like, all right, boys, let's do it. We got some South African flags and we rocked up. It was so fun. We had such a fucking good time. The problem was my microphone had broken. So, like, we went and filmed all this shit. And then at the end of the day, we were like, I went to re-listen to it. I'm like, oh, you idiot. Something went wrong with my mic anyway. But we had so good, like, all these awesome interviews with people at this refugees welcome barbecue. They had like vegan sausages and it was ridiculous. And every person there, like all the people there were actually really nice and reasonable and talking about, we were talking about, the South African farmers and, would you be worried or concerned about, Muslim immigration and all this? And it seems that we're all on the same page. And then, the people who are running it, they came over to me and they said, oh, sorry, mate, we'd like you to delete all your footage, all your interviews.
Oh,
And I said, hang on a minute. And I think that I just interviewed two guys. I said, excuse me, guys, you're happy for me to post these interviews on Facebook or YouTube, whatever. They're like, yeah, mate, no worries. And I said, I'm not going to delete the video. These guys, I'm interviewing them, not you. And they kind of cracked the shits and then told us to leave. So we were polite enough.
yeah, that's typical that the sort of the overlord. So we don't want anyone challenging us or making us out to not be as hardcore as we like to be.
Yeah, it was so funny. We were sitting there and there was like this mad kind of techno hippie tripped out music, and I was like, so I went up and spoke to the dude with the music player. I'm like, hey bro, like having a good yarn to him, and he's like, hey man, yeah, this is just my local park that I smoke weed in. I'm not even with these guys. And like it was so funny that these bloody green lefty nutcases had just taken over this bloody. It was like an old cowboy, had like a sick cowboy hat with like the Australian flag on it, and he's just sitting there smoking joints. And like I did get a good interview with him, and it was such a shame you couldn't hear what the guy had to say. He was kind of like, yeah, these guys have come into my park and they're like pushing all this stuff, and it was just hilarious.
Speaking of pot, you went to the legalized marijuana rally in Brisbane, hosted by the Liberal Democrats up there. What was that experience like? You went with a few other Proud Boys.
Yeah, I reckon it was an eye opener, I guess. I don't know where I stand on it, on the legalization of weed. I guess I've had like mates who have had drug problems and had mental health problems from it. You know what I mean? So I can see some negatives, but yeah, it was interesting. I think the Liberal Democrats are definitely the guys who I'd be backing when it comes to legalizing pretty much anything. Like we should have got the fucking libertarians to deal with the gay marriage and everything. Like we'd get a better fucking. Everyone's going to get a better deal if the libertarians are involved.
Yeah, exactly. They've got the right idea when it comes to approaching any sort of cultural or social issue. One of their big things at the moment is legalizing vaping, because it's ridiculous that cigarette smoking, like we're told it's bad, but the vaping, which is a tobacco substitute, it's still got the nicotine, but it doesn't have all that toxic stuff in it. You can't buy it in Australia because it's smoking paraphernalia. And do you want people to like find other ways to give up, or like what's the deal there?
Yeah, that's fucking stupid. Hey, I remember I bought one of them vape pens back in when I was in Vegas a few years ago, and it was like a fucking chargeable one. And I think I was smoking this fucking thing. It lasted me like a month. I got home from a holiday and I threw it in my fishing box. And then I found it like 2 years later and I picked it up. And I was like, hey, this fucking e-cigarette, whatever the fuck it was, had a smoke of it. I'm like, holy shit, it still works. So it was pretty funny.
Yeah, over in
No,
the
just
United
selling
States.
them on the fucking streets, you know?
Yeah.
Like no one gave a shit over there.
Yeah, they've got vape shops all over the country. In fact, it reminds me, do you remember where that Trump supporter went to a vape shop and then there was this triggered soy boy behind the counter who he screamed like a banshee and told him to leave the store and was going to call the police because he was a Trump supporter?
Oh gosh.
You don't remember that? Oh, that was huge at the beginning of the year.
I was probably I was in no man's land, bro. That would have been me, like, booted off Facebook and just been, like, getting my shit together on MeWe. You know what I mean?
Mm.
I'm reading the fucking newspaper. That's how I was getting my news for a while. You
Well,
know?
you're only a one paper town in Brisbane. You've only got the Courier Mail, and as you know, sort of like News Corp, like everyone thinks it's far right, but they were the ones that attacked the Proud Boys.
Jeez, mate, well, don't worry. They're handing out fucking communist newspapers in Brisbane City now. So,
Oh, well,
that
they do that. The socialist alternative. What's the one down here? Red flag. That's the one.
might be, that sounds familiar. That might be fucking
Hmm.
something what this is like.
Oh, yeah, more like red flog.
Uh, I haven't actually read it. I'm going to do a video next week and I'm just going to fucking get this newspaper and spend an hour just fucking reading all the shit, you know?
I used to read the Red Flag. There's also the Green Left Weekly. That's another one. I used to read it for a. Mainly I went on those websites just to see what they were saying about Venezuela, how they were trying to sort of like excuse or rationalize what was happening. I remember there was one headline said that Venezuela, it's the communal nothing.
Uh, I said, didn't Trump say some shit? He's like, in America, we fucking love our dogs. In Venezuela, they eat them or something.
Well,
Like he
that
tweeted that.
well, they're not enjoying eating them in Venezuela. They're starving. That's the thing. Like they don't like they didn't
Yeah.
do that before, but that's what
It's not
communism does.
Vietnam.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, Vietnam's the other kind of communism, but they fucking eating dogs a delicacy.
Hmm. Well, the Vietnamese who are here, like they hate communism. They don't like our government doing anything with the Vietnamese government. And I'm not sure if you followed what happened in Melbourne over the summer with the Sudanese crime. The Vietnamese shopkeepers they fought back and they went down to the St Kilda political meeting that was hosted by Neil Erickson. The local Vietnamese community came along.
Mm. Yeah, that's right. Did you follow when I was interviewing the Vietnamese
Yeah,
rallies here in
yeah,
Brisbane? Like
yeah.
they are fucking amazing people. I think it was on the way to that safe school rally,
Hmm.
and we were walking through, and we were just stopping at some Irish bar, and we had a pint. And I'm looking over the road. I'm like, what the fuck's going on over here? All these Vietnamese people. So we just stopped in for a listen, and people are screaming with megaphones, like, "No to communist!" Like just going ballistic. I'm like, wow, these people are awesome. And just fucking luckily I had all my gear with me and I got a few good interviews and got their numbers and I went on a few good rallies with these guys, hey.
Yeah, yeah, they're definitely, I think, like the most successful like immigrant story, one of them, because they they escaped Vietnam because they didn't want to live under communism. They're grateful that they're living in a free country and they've made the most of it. And sort of the last like this is why they have the anti-communism rallies because they just see it as an insult where like we've like come to escape that now you're cuddling up to them.
Oh man. Like here's the thing. I went to the Labor Day rally last Monday and I fucking swear to God, thousands of people, there was not one Australian flag. It was
Mm.
just fucking Eureka Stockade flags. I seen Aboriginal flag, some gay flags, whatever. Not one Australian flag. I went to the Vietnamese rally. They did a local rally down in Anala. It's the major Vietnamese kind of suburb in Brisbane. Mate, it was 50-50 South Vietnamese flag and Australian flags. Like these guys are super fucking patriotic. They love Australia.
Yeah, it's fantastic to see. Now, you go out on the street quite a bit, but you also do commentary just when you're in front of the TV, and there's been a lot to comment on because obviously we mentioned the election. You're supporting One Nation. You've interviewed Malcolm Roberts a few times. You think that they're the best choice for someone like you?
Yeah, well, I'm actually going to help out my mate, local dude in Ipswich, who's an independent. But So on election day, I'm going to go and help him with handing out how to vote cards and all this. But I mean, look, if I was to encourage people how to vote, I would say, yeah, one nation. Like even Fraser Anning, like I thought, oh, okay, he might be a bit radical, and then I see he had like an Indian dude as one of his, running in his party, and I'm thinking, well, he's obviously not like a fucking white supremacist, is he? Like, and he seems to be like the only politician who's, I think the Liberal Democrats as well, who are pushing for gun rights for self-defense. Now I'm
Yeah,
fucking keen. I'm keen on them ideas. Like I think they're great ideas.
yeah,
So it'd be a matter of if whatever your electorate is, who's in that area, who can you fucking vote for? Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
Do
So,
your own bloody, your own preferences and fucking put them down. Don't even put the Greens or Labor on there if you don't have to, or put them dead last.
yeah, I'd certainly advise preference all the based minor parties first, and yeah, like obviously Fraser Anning has attracted controversy, and he does go a lot further than Pauline Hanson when he says that he wants Australia to remain a predominantly white country, but he's correct in pointing out that we shouldn't take any more Muslim immigrants from the Middle East, and obviously Sudan, which is where, well, especially in Melbourne, where a lot of the crimes are happening with that
Mm.
community.
Man, I've fucking no idea what's happening with them. I mean, I'd love to come to Melbourne and see what's happening with them Sudanese kids. Because, like, I just spent, what, fucking the last 6 years volunteering at a youth group. And most of my kids were young Africans, right?
Mm.
And they were fucking golden. Them boys they're hard workers. They all finished school. They've done well for themselves. And I'm like, what the fuck's going on in Melbourne? Because our Africans up here seem fine. Like,
I recall there were a few incidents of crimes happening in Brisbane where they always say the suspects were of African appearance, but definitely the sort of like culture of Melbourne doesn't help in, because the crime hotspots where there is Sudanese crime, it's confined to sort of like the western suburbs. It's when you get those ghettos and there's no incentive to integrate, and especially with our government, with the welfare largesse, there's also not that incentive to sort of work hard, and then you have the courts which give out lenient sentences and grant bail. It's a combination of those things that are just not sending the right message to these youths that in this country, if you don't make the most of the opportunity that we've provided for you, then we're going to come down hard.
yeah, I totally agree. Them young men, they need to get their asses into sports. Like, get into sports, go to a fucking local youth group, go do something positive. Like, what the fuck are you doing? They're like, I reckon we got to look. I'm a New Zealander. If I'm trying to go for my Australian citizenship now. But God, if I fucking did the same shit as these young African guys, they're going to deport my ass back to New Zealand.
Yeah,
I'm fucking gone, mate.
yeah,
Like,
yeah. If you look at the crime stats, those born in New Zealand, they're one of the highest perpetrators of crimes by country of origin.
filthy bloody Kiwis, eh?
Yeah, and we do we do deport white criminals because we do deport the New Zealanders, and well, that's one of the things Jacinta, she's not too happy about. But like, that's the thing, if you can get rid of a criminal from your country, black or white, you do it. Like, if you can make them not your problem, yeah, you're going to deport.
Yeah, fucking oath. And it's got to be, What happened to the common law where we're all just fucking treated the same? If you commit the crime, man, it's the same fucking punishment for all of us. It doesn't matter if you're a gay fucking Muslim or black or white or whatever demographic you want to victim identity group you want to be fucking identify with. Who cares? Pull your heads in.
Yeah, I mean Peter Dutton, he doesn't discriminate. He if a any type of immigrants like being convicted of a crime, he'll try to get us rid of them.
Yeah, good on him. Go to I'm telling you, if you're one of these young fucking people, go to a youth group. Like, surely there's a fucking Hillsong or there's Planet Shakers down there. Like, they're decent churches. They have fun as youth groups.
Yeah, there's definitely. I mean, we've still got a lot of culture here in Melbourne. I mean, I always say to people, look, like Melbourne, it's not as bad as sort of, the online caricature makes out. I mean, like, well, Andrew Bolt got attacked in the street here in Melbourne, and he's still a Melburnian. Like Rita Panahy's a Melburnian. Like we love this city. I mean, it's well, part of the reason we stay is because of the AFL. We all love Aussie rules. Um, I'm from the southeast suburbs, and that's definitely one of the better areas. It's sort of very much still what Australia should be.
Yeah, like, who the fuck wants to live in a ghetto anyway? Like, I think in Brisbane, you got your Sunnybank, which is Asian, and Arla, which is Asian. And I'm telling you, them places are probably the safest areas in Brisbane. Like, I'd walk through there in the middle of the night, not a bloody drama. And then all these people, I think that they say Woodridge is not too good, but God, like I went to church in Anala, which apparently it's fucking got a bad name for itself. But I mean, God, I go to church in that suburb probably for 7 years. So, I mean, I got to know fucking everyone. Do you know what I mean? You could go in the parks in the middle of the night and just, I think the trick is if you see like a bunch of drunken Aboriginals and they ask you for like $1 or something, you just be like, sorry, bro. And if they have a sack of goon, just be like, can I have a sip of your goon sack? And then just have a sip of it, and then they'll leave you alone.
The irony
They'll be like,
is,
he's one of us.
the irony is, like, you know the suburb of Frankston in Melbourne.
Fuck, I don't know.
Oh, you
I
don't
have
know?
no idea about
Well,
Melbourne.
that's supposedly the like rough area of Melbourne. Like all the comedians always used to make Frankston jokes. So it was quite bad about 25 years ago. There was a lot of drugs and there was like serial killers on the loose. But like the irony is, it's actually one of the safer areas at night. Like I've been to Frankston plenty of times, like Friday and Saturday night, and I felt very safer than I would in the city.
True that. How pissed were you? Just stumbling around like a fucking idiot or what?
I don't get that way these days. I'm very well. I've got to be sober most of the time, otherwise I'm not gonna produce much good stuff.
Jeez, don't do it like Dusty. I'm shocking. Most of my videos were half cut or hungover. You know what I mean?
Mm.
I've pulled my head in. I actually did Lent, so I didn't drink for the month. Like maybe I had beers twice over the month of Lent, and now I've cut myself. I'm not drinking anymore during the week. So it's like that was the first time I did Lent, and it probably helped me because I've been drinking I drank every day for a few years there, I reckon.
Yeah. It's not just like it doesn't just cloud your mind, but like like beer and like cider and like wine. It's like got heaps of like calories in it and sugar. It's not good for you that way either.
Uh, when you're concreting all day, I think it's good for you. You need to rehydrate, you know?
Yeah. If you're active, it's fine.
Yeah.
Now the Proud Boys, obviously, they went through a rough end of the year. There was the purge from Facebook. Proud Boys had already been kicked off Twitter, and then Gavin McInnes resigned. He said it was to help the New York Proud Boys who were charged because of that scuffle with Antifa. And then, of course, Gavin, he ended up getting kicked off YouTube as well, completely deplatformed. So, like Gavin, like he fell down pretty hard, and like obviously, like Gavin was sort of the figure of the Proud Boys. That's a lot of guys like they follow Gavin, like they heard about the Proud Boys, and so they'd go to a meeting, and so it was a big loss. How's the Australian chapters have they coped with sort of this tough time?
Yeah, well, I think it was a tough time because we had serious momentum. Like with the Facebook, we were having new members daily. You could have two or three people a day doing their first degree videos on the vetting pages on Facebook. And so just all day when you're watching new members join, and it was just really encouraging. And then next minute it was like, I'm telling you, dude, we went to that Safe School rally, we went to that Liberty Fest in Brisbane, and it was like, dude, we're rocking it. And then next minute, bang, the hit piece articles and the lies start pouring out. And then fucking bang, Facebook took us down. Then Gavin McInnes gets booted off all these platforms, and the Deplorables tour didn't happen. So
Yeah, I mean,
it was a bit of a setback, you know what I mean? I'd admit that, but it's taken a while to get the momentum back, but we didn't lose any members. We had our solid guys who all our chapters across Australia and New Zealand, and it was like, bang, we jumped on MeWe, we reorganized on MeWe pretty quickly, and now we're on Telegram just because of it. I guess it's a more simplistic, better flowing. It's better for banter. And you know what? If you have a look at our vetting page on Telegram, like, damn, I think we've only had that page up for 2 weeks, and now we're almost getting a new member a day again. So
yeah, that's good.
seems
That
like
people,
we've
that guys
yeah
are
we've
still able to
we've
find
built
you.
the momentum up again, and it's kind of in a way, it's like, Gavin McInnes made this men's fraternity, but now we're it's not about Gavin McInnes. So we've survived. Survived beyond Gavin McInnes. Like, he's created something that's going to outlive him. You know what I mean?
There is a new U.S. President of the Proud Boys now. I forget his full name. It's Enrique. You should know the
Yeah, he
name.
actually messaged me the other day on Telegram. Hey, I was like, holy shit, dude, that's awesome. So
And
we got a bit of
even he,
all
like,
the American chapters are on there, so we're all connected now. It's
but
like nothing happened.
but he's suffered because, like, he's leading the Proud Boys. He got his bank account shut down, which is like next level deplatforming insanity. I mean, what's next? They're gonna cut off the electricity to your house because you're a Proud Boy.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. I mean, isn't he Cuban and African American? Like, so you can't call the guy. You can't. We're not racist anymore. Like, what are you going to call us? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's
What's the fucking charges for that guy? Like,
well, it's been good that Gavin is finally taking some action against, because it was just like I followed it at the time, and the fake news, the lies, the mistruth, the deliberate misreporting, and like it's only gotten worse this year. I mean, I witnessed it locally here firsthand with the St Kilda meeting, all the fake news that was put out about that, and now Gavin is taking the Southern Poverty Law Centre to court for defamation, because he also got fired from CRTV when it merged with Blaze TV, and so yeah, he's like, even though he's worth a lot of money, it's still like he's not living the same life that he did 6 months ago. And I can't remember who described it, but the Southern Poverty Law Centre is a smear machine. If they like label you as racist, white supremacist, then the media's like, well, the SPLC says it's true, so it must be correct.
Yeah, and was it Twitter has now removed the Southern Poverty Law Centre as like one of the fucking
Yeah.
go-to, go-to places where they'd be like, they say you're a fucking whatever PC fucking culture doesn't love you. Like,
Mm.
so Gavin McInnes is suing the Southern Poverty Law Centre, and it's like, this Twitter not using them as one of the fucking benchmarks now. That's a direct result because Gav's fucking put his money down and saying, hang on a minute, guys. And it looks like he's put real pressure on him. Looks like he's already had an effect.
Yeah, and you can go to the defendgavin.com website. You can also contribute yourself to the legal fund. It raised nearly, last time I checked, over $250,000.
Yeah, I think I put $5 in there.
Yeah.
It's just like, I seen it and I thought, what have I got in my bank? Oh, fuck, $5. There you go, mate.
Oh, well, Gavin came on my show last year, so like it's always very, I was very grateful that, like a major star like him like spoke to a smaller channel such as the Unshackled. So yeah, I've always had soft spot for Gavin. Or yeah, or also like because he founded the Proud Boys as well. I mean, that's a pretty epic thing to do for a celebrity to, found a like organization like that.
Yeah, he's like a bit of a pioneer, hey? Like, what a legend. I think there was such momentum going on, and obviously with Trump winning, I reckon the Proud Boys had, far out, man. That's why I'm a Proud Boy, just watching the Proud Boys going to rallies. It was so inspirational. And you're like, finally someone's fucking doing something against these Antifa nutcases. Someone's getting together. And, Proud Boys are talking about civic nationalism, eh? It's like, doesn't matter if you're fucking what color your skin is or if you're gay or whatever. Like, be a Western chauvinist. Be proud of your Western nation. And it's like the unifying glue. We're rejecting the identity politics and we're saying like, no, we want you, like if you're a fucking migrant to Australia, we're saying we want you to be proud of that flag. We want you to feel as though you're Australian. You can come celebrate with us. And, Gav, he created like a new pop culture, subculture. And he was the hero, like he was the hero, and they had to knock him down. They had to try and fucking stop the momentum. They couldn't handle our success, I think.
Yeah, and also Milo quit the Proud Boys as well, and that was used as a excuse also to kick him off Patreon because he was a Proud Boy as well, and now he's been kicked off Facebook. He's also on Telegram, so they're not just taking out the legit white nationalists, but just anybody who is nationalist. Period.
Yeah, well, Telegram's now just like this civic nationalist. All the dudes in the civic nationalist movement, Milo, Gav, fucking all the Proud Boys, Alex Jones, all these people, they're all now on Telegram. It's like everyone's in there. Tommy Robinson. Like, this is a fucking global movement, and they've tried to silence us. We're not the white nationalists. We're not the fucking boogeyman the fucking troll hiding under the bridge, whatever they want to call us. Like, we're not their imaginary fucking fake friend or whatever they want to call it. Like, I don't know who the fuck are the white nationalists. Have you ever met one? Like, even
Well,
Blair Cottrell, I swear, they all say that dude's a fucking white nationalist. Well, I had a conversation with the guy. He seemed like a normal as fuck guy. Like, he was actually really nice and respectful and polite and had a laugh. Like,
well,
where are they?
There is Lads Society, which is an explicitly white nationalist organization that's meant to create a new white male community. They were strongest here in Melbourne. Blair was associated with them in the beginning, but he's does his own thing now. Tom Sewell, he is the leader of that, and they recently got booted off Facebook. But yeah, like obviously a completely different organization to the Proud Boys.
Yeah, like, we've got fucking multiple ethnic background. We've got gays. We're only men. There's no trannies. There's no women. That's
You have to have
it.
a biological, like, functioning penis.
Yeah, it's got to work.
And you can't have it cut off.
It'd just be a fucking mess. I actually, like, dead set, I had a tranny try join the Brisbane chapter, and
What
one of the
type?
dudes, he's was it was a girl who was wanting to believed it was a man. So
Okay.
and it was actually one of the Proud Boys, and he's like, oh, I've got a friend and I want to bring him along, and but he's a tranny, and I was like, I'm real sorry, bro. It's a men only club. Like, it's only for men. He's like, but he is a man. I'm like, he's not a fucking man. I'm sorry, dude. And, like, he actually got upset and left the club because he
Oh wow.
yeah. But we still get along. Like, I'm still friends with that tranny, and I'm still friends with that dude. So it was nothing like, it wasn't like, I don't fucking hate you. Like, not a problem. Like, come to my house, come fucking for a beer any other time. But if it's a Proud Boys meet, sorry. Like, this is for men. There's plenty of fucking tranny clubs. There's gay bars and trannies, fucking everything these days. Like, you've already got your own stuff. Like, we need some men's clubs. Like, we discriminate because of our values. You're like, these are the values. That's it. I'm sorry. It's
Well,
probably the women and the trannies who we actually, we genuinely do discriminate against trannies and women. Let's face it. Like, it's a men's club.
Well, there was that big deal recently about the Tattersalls Club in Brisbane. It was a men's only club, and they had a very close membership vote to allow women. We have the Athenaeum Club, the Melbourne Club, and the Savage Club here in Melbourne, which are men only. One of the Greens candidates, Julian Burnside, he got into trouble because he was a member of the Savage Club, and like he's a member of the Progressive Party. It's sort of like, why do they always have to attack men's organisations? They're never attacking Fernwood Women's Fitness.
Oh, man. They're fucking doing a number on us. This is what happens, This is why things like Steve Dixon going to the strip club, because there's no fucking men's clubs anymore. We're like, when do you get to go on a hunting trip? When do you get to fucking talk shit with your mates? Like, I'm kind of lucky. Like, a majority of my mates are married, and they always seem, every barbecue, every fucking thing we do, there's just natural segregation. All the guys are like, how you going? Be real polite, respectful to the mates' wives. And it's just the natural segregation. The dudes go to the fucking backyard or the barbecue or out on the deck, and the women are talking. We don't even want to know what they're doing. Like, but don't give us our little bit of fucking man time so we can grunt and talk absolute shit. No one wants to know what we're saying. Like the shit Steve Dixon was doing. God, he probably has never had an outlet because his life's been his man time's been squeezed out of him. He got 5 minutes in a strip club and fucking turned into an absolute drooling moron.
Well, I don't think like what he said like was really that bad. I mean, how else are you going to behave around a stripper?
It was fucking. It was quite funny. Hey, it's not like he broke the law. Come on, give the guy
No.
a fucking break.
Yeah, I mean, it's more questionable what Al Jazeera did secretly filming that.
Yeah. How was the dude? Did you read? I seen you post an article, bro, and it was about the Greens candidate who had to stand down because he said some fucking post 2 years ago. It was like, oh, what did he say? He said like it was some joke. It was some joke about having sex with a ghost, and he cracked a joke
Yes,
about one of his Asian buddies,
yeah,
and they were like, "He's a racist."
the candidate for Laylaw. I can't quite. I think I should have it up here. Let me just bring it up. What his name was? Yeah, Jay Desi. Yeah, he got disendorsed. What do you make of all these candidate disendorsements? Because it's just sort of it's just politically incorrect stuff, but because we've become so politically correct as oh no, we can't have, people who've ever, said sort of colourful things.
They've created they've created this fucking fake PC world that they themselves can't even operate in. Like it is such a fucking joke that they're like, you can't fucking do this or that or anything. You can't joke around or talk shit. These people are detached from reality. Like, and here we go. This fucking Greens candidate 2 years ago cracked a joke with his mate, his Asian buddy. He probably was fucking joking around. They probably give each other shit all the time. They're just like, that's a part of being Australian. You just fucking, you give each other shit. You stir the pot and you wind each other up until someone cracks and then you laugh about it. You say, fuck, yeah, we all say stupid shit. Get over it. But now the Greens they can't even fucking get their own candidates because guess what? Guess what, PC world? We're all fucking human. We've all cracked jokes and we've all
Yeah,
done dumb shit. Like, wake up.
exactly. Well, it's getting close to around 8 o'clock, so we might wrap it up now. The audience was a bit slow to come on, but they eventually came. They're a bit slower on YouTube Live to come on, but the chat has taken off. So thank you to everyone who tuned in and interacted. And of course, you can find the Dusty Bogan on Telegram. You can also find the Unshackled on Telegram. You can find us both on MeWe. The Unshackled, of course, is on Gab and Minds as well. We're on all the free speech platforms. Are you going to open up not a Patreon account, but a Subscribestar account? Are you gonna start a support program?
Jeez. Maybe, mate. You'll have to fucking help me set it up. I'm so useless with all this.
I can easily help you do that. Subscribestar, Patreon, PayPal. I've set it up all for the Unshackled. I always have the reminder at the end of every show that so to support our work because yeah, we're in this studio here. It's always intense here, breaking all the as much news as we can.
Well, like, how fucking crazy would it be, like, if you or I came under attack? Like, just like we're seeing all the people booted off Facebook, and they're fucking ruining people's careers just for having a go. Do you know? Like,
Yeah,
this is supposed to be a democracy. We're supposed to be able to fucking talk about political ideas and disagree and, I guess support the Unshackled. Sometimes I read your articles and do rants about them, and I often say, look at the link below because you're probably getting advertisement or some kind of money, and I'm fucking ripping off your articles and doing rants about them.
hey, we like it when people such as yourself like and promote our articles. Every share, every mention is always appreciated.
No worries, mate. Check out the Proud Boys Australia vetting page on Telegram as well.
Yep, and I'll leave links to that. I'll have to put the links in the description after. All right, I'll play us out now. Thanks, Dusty Bogan. We look forward to seeing you more on the streets of Brisbane, more events that seem to be happening there.
Cheers, mate. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for tuning in to the Unshackled Waves. Please visit theunshackledwaves.net for all the ways to subscribe and follow the show. Don't forget to pick up your free ebook at theunshackledbattlefield.net and keep checking out theunshackled.net for all the latest news and commentary.